Hi, I'm Joe Cuenco, marriage researcher and writer. Today we're going to talk about household planning. Specifically, how do we manage responsibilities for household management? You know, just as a company needs a CEO to strategically manage the company and workers to fulfill the obligations and decisions made about who does what, the same thing has to happen with a family. Basically, the responsibilities need to be allocated, they need to be agreed to, and therefore people need to have an understanding of what is expected of them. And that happens in a business, and it's also something that has to happen at the household level. Because a dictatorship barely works, the cooperative planning approach is basically the one that works the best. So basically, what a couple needs to decide at is what are we best at? What strengths do we have, and what's the best way for us to allocate these tasks? For example, one may be better at budgeting, one may be better at the mechanical side, one may be better at making the purchase decisions or doing the financial planning. You just need to determine what you're good at and allocate the tasks based upon your skills. Now, you need to be fair in the allocation of responsibilities, because if your wife is not Danica Patrick, then don't expect her to change the oil, the plugs, and do the tranny rebuild. So it really needs to be a fair allocation based upon your skills. So what you need to do is figure out what responsibilities you're going to take individual responsibility for, and some of the things you're actually going to do together, because a lot of couples like to do outside work together. They like to work in the yard. One does planning, one does the rose pruning, one does the weeding, and we need to understand that these things need to all be done in balance. For example, if your wife has the responsibility of making the meals, the husband shouldn't expect that at 5:02 there's a problem if the meal's not done. Similarly, if the lawn is not cut at 12:04 p.m. on a Saturday, sometimes flexibility needs to be there to understand that these things will get done in time. So you need to stick to a plan, be supportive of one another, and understand that this is all part of a process to help build equity in the home, build equity in the relationship. Because if you have an agreed-to plan to work towards a common goal, then things are going to get done. They're going to get done expeditiously, and there's going to be less issues to deal with. That's how we allocate management of tasks at home. I'm Joe Cuenco, married forever, marriedforever.com.